We did get a quote to put air source heating in here. The cost of the infrared was less than 25% of that. It's controllable, you feel more alive in it, and well, it's a fraction of the cost. I absolutely would choose this system again. I mean, it just, for ease of fitting, for the comfort, for the aesthetic, for the cost. I felt incredibly supported through the process. Dealing with Herschel was just a pleasure from start to finish. One of the reasons why I was as convinced as I was that I wanted to install this is as I have travelled in Scandinavia, I've been into houses where you walk in and you can't immediately understand the heat because it's like being in the sun. You're not quite sure necessarily where it's coming from, but you feel warm with the air quality being fresh. It's not oppressive. And that's absolutely what we've got here. I mean, people walk in and they sense the difference. And you can sit, I mean, I work from home, you can sit without moving for 3 hours and not feel cold. And I mean, it's just, I can't quite explain how different and how wonderful it is. We were building a house that we wanted it to be as eco-friendly as we could. We weren't going to go the full sort of passive house route, but we wanted it to get as close as we possibly could to that. So the obvious choices were either ground source or air source. I've lived with both and found them really uncontrollable and the heat quite cloying. Obviously, if you put ground or heat source in, you can zone it, but it's much, much more difficult too. And with this heating system, literally, we've got every single room zoned. So, you've got the flexibility of having the heating on the whole house or one room, and I work from home, so that's really important. And then we've got it programmed so that, if at 5 o'clock it comes on, and within 10 minutes it's warm. I mean, it just is, the controllability of it is extraordinary. It was important to us that we built the property to be as passive as it possibly could be, with local materials, we're trying to go for a sort of timeless, sort of classic, but with modern technology build. The house is entirely electric. Solar panels are very important part of that integration, which obviously means that our heating, is effectively, we're as close to being able to be off the grid as it's possible. We are attached to the grid, but we've been positive in our usage throughout the winter. So when we first started this project, the Comfort range wasn't available. This is a very new product. It was sort of 3 years between the initial investigation and actually having it fitted, by which time it was. The efficiency was better, the controllability was better, and particularly important to us was that actually it's made in the UK. So, it was in line with the principles that we were trying to build on. By the time we got there, it was an absolute no-brainer. So again, one of the important things in this property is that we've got natural materials, but we're trying to keep sort of lines as clean as possible. So the panels literally disappear. I mean, you don't see them. In the bathrooms, the heaters are the mirrors, which give the most incredible heat off, and you've got this added bonus of the mirrors don't steam up, so you can have the most fantastic shower and you come out to an absolutely clear mirror. So yeah, the aesthetics of the product were really important. We did get a quote to put air source heating in here. The cost of the infrared was less than 25% of that. It was done by the electrician, so it's just part of the second fix, which in terms of a new build makes it so much less complex, because the flooring can go down without thinking about, it just on every level was easy. I think they fitted the entire house in less than, it was 2.5 days in the end. The impact was negligible. I mean, you literally just carry these panels in and fix them to the wall once the wiring's in. It couldn't be easier. So I made contact with Herschel at the beginning of the project, because you need to outline what heating you're going to put in to get planning. The response was fabulous. Just immediately came back and gave us the information we needed. There was nothing that was too much trouble. I was fairly unsure about it because, of builders' attitudes to it and architects' attitudes to it, which they've subsequently changed their minds. But a lot of people were very anxious about us not doing air source or ground source. And so I was battling up against some fairly strong minds on this. Herschel had been the longest established, and it was important to me that I didn't go with somebody that had just been doing it for 6 months and and I went to some of the restaurants that you fitted out in London, and we tested it. Just actually went and sat in those restaurants, and so it was about a reliable company. If I was ever going to do a project like this again, and I'm not sure that I have it in me, but if I was, I absolutely would choose this system again. I mean, it just, for ease of fitting, for the comfort, for the aesthetic, for the cost, I felt incredibly supported through the process. It was one of the least stressful processes of the whole build. Dealing with Herschel was just a pleasure from start to finish. If I could be persuaded to do it again, I will definitely put infrared panels in again.